These are devotions for people at a social distance. This morning, in my devotions, I was reading in 1 Timothy chapter 1, and in verse 19 came across just an image that really kind of struck me. It goes like this: by rejecting conscience, certain persons have suffered shipwreck in the faith. By rejecting conscience, certain persons have suffered shipwreck in faith. That's really quite an extraordinary statement. We have people, presumably, and Paul goes on to name them, people who are people of faith, who believe strongly, who trust in Jesus, that there doesn't seem to be any question that they have faith, but what they have done is they have violated their conscience, their internal sense of what is right and what is wrong. And this is one of the few references to a conscience in the scriptures. And this has led to a shipwreck. What is a shipwreck? Well, they had, they were going somewhere, and just their journey, their path, where they were going was totally thrown to a loop, and their vessel was sunk, and they ended up presumably lost on some deserted island, right? That's what a shipwreck is. And this is, I think, something that happens and that we need to be aware of. It is wonderful to have faith, to trust in God, to say, oh, this is what I believe, and this is what is important to me. And at some point, as we pursue, living out the faith and sharing it in love and all of that, we will suffer temptations to do things that inside we know are not right. And that might be anything. It might be how we treat others, not treating others as we would like to be treated ourselves, not treating our neighbors with love and care. I think is absolutely central to that moral sense that we have, and yet we don't do that. Why? Because we prioritize our identity in the faith above the care for the community. And that leads to a shipwreck in our faith. And I think that is happening, in the church today. That some people, as they think selfishly, oh, this is how I need to practice my faith, despite limitations in a pandemic, whatever, that I need to put my need to live out my faith first before community needs. And that's what we are seeing, as course, as we have some churches that are violating the health, the necessary at this period in time, necessary health restrictions, because they feel that their faith comes before the needs of the community, and it will shipwreck the faith for them, and it will have some ripple effects for other churches as people begin to look askance at, faith and Christianity in general. This is a very delicate and important time, and listening to our consciences given by God to guide us, to give us some moral judgment, is of extreme importance. Lord our God, thank you. Thank you for the faith you give us that allows us that sustains us in times of difficulty and trial. But let us not just live by faith. Let us also live by a good conscience, listening to what you are telling us through your Spirit, what is right and what is wrong, especially in these very difficult times where that is not always so clear. Amen.